Broadcasting live from the ILTV studios located here at University Drive. Welcome once again to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker. I'm a Justice of the Peace here in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And of course, I'm a member of the local Roman Catholic Church. Today is Wednesday, the 9th day of October in the year of our Lord 2024. And there are some interesting news coming from the University of the Bahamas. A number of Negro female students who depends on human rights activist Allison Maynard, who the United States has declared as one of the greatest contributor to women's rights. Well, Allison Maynard, as you know, is chairman of the University of the Bahamas, but Negro females are about to be put out of their rental unit because they have alleged that Allison Maynard and Dr. Janine Hodder, two women whom the American Embassy has praised as champion among the women, have failed to pay their rent. I called publicly on the Embassy of the United States to reconsider that wonderful honor, because these young girls are about to be evicted and they shall become the subject of persecution. So we shall see how best we can shame these two women and that they will do the right thing. Meanwhile, nurses employed at the Princess Margaret Hospital are alleging that the Public Hospital Authority has failed to pay their insurances. They're having surgery and they can't find nobody to pay for it. So we have to look at it because there are three senior Negro people who are in charge of the Public Hospital Authority, and it is my hope that I'll be able to find them to see if I could get them to quickly pay the insurance so that the nurses will not have that stress. So there's some of the things that are happening in our country. And of course, last night you are aware that the Prime Minister addressed the nation and he has warned us, the Bahamian people, to be prepared for a hurricane. And as you are aware, Hurricane Milton, named after my first cousin, he's heading for the United States and it is a monstrous storm. So we have to pray for the Americans and we have to battle down and get ready because the storm could shift. And I have reason to suspect that this storm could shift, and if this storm don't shift, I believe that we are in the eyes of the storm because we have been committing many sins here in the Bahamas and we have run afoul of the God of the holy people of holy Israel, and it is perhaps time for Nassau to be punished. So you better start praying and fasting and repenting and asking God to forgive our sins and to turn this storm away, because essentially this is one of the ways people are punished when they go astray, okay? For many of you who are into the sciences, you see climate warming. You see the earth is being hot. But I look at it spiritually. I've gone into the spiritual realm and I have concluded that it is sin. And so we have to repent. We've gone astray after all forms of idolatry. So there's some of the things that is happening in the country. And I salute women all over the Bahamas who are struggling. I salute women who must personally batten down. And today I visit an 84-year-old Negro woman who lives in Bamboo Town. It's a national disgrace that the rental authority is not looking at some of these wicked, no-good landlords who will not repair these roofs, and the senior citizen got to pay rent. We're going to be talking about it because we have to protect the senior people. It's powerful. God save the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Dear Lord, save us from the storm. There are many righteous people in Nassau. Welcome back to Freedom Match. My name is Rodney Monker, and of course, my spiritual advisor is Bradley Roll. And in view of the fact that I perceive that many of the storms and many of the disasters which are taking place on the earth is because men have sinned. You would recall that many, many years ago, there was a group of people who had sinned, and Jehovah told a man to build an ark and told him that he and his family should enter the ark and take 2 of each kind of animal into that ark. And that is how Noah survived. So I do believe that history has a way of repeating itself, and notwithstanding modern science, modern technology, I shall continue to rely on the ancient stories, that these are the sins that we have committed. And if you search this planet, man is very, very sinful, and he has forgotten God. But let me turn all of this over to my spiritual advisor, because he is God's man. Bradley?
Thank you so much, Sandra. Good to be here. It's amazing to hear your analogies at time. Yeah, I'm sorry, producer. You have to forgive me. Give me a little bit of grace. I forgot to put on my mic. Can you hear me, sir? Good. Today, I have chosen this passage of scripture, 1 Corinthians 13, 8 through 10, for a very specific reason. I just hope those who are Bible scholars would look at this, and then you would understand why I have chosen this passage. Simply because in the first century church there were gifts, spiritual gifts, that was imparted to the church through the Holy Spirit, and it was for a reason: to edify, to uplift, and to build up the church. Those spiritual gifts in the first century served the purpose, but they were only temporary. They were not to last forever. Once the fullness of time had come and those spiritual gifts would have served their purpose, then they all disappeared. And so 1 Corinthians 13, 8 to 10 says, "Love never fails. But where there are prophecies, they will cease. Where there are tongues, they will be still. Where there is knowledge, it will pass away. For we know in part, and we prophesy in part. But when completeness comes, what is in part disappears." 1 Corinthians 13, 8 through 10. Very powerful passage indeed. And then after this passage, the Apostle Paul will then go on to explain spiritual gifts and how they were to be used in the church. But it's a long study. But this passage, please, don't forget this passage. Take some time, go and sit down with your preachers and see if you can dissect this, because a lot of folks still believe that a lot of people still believe they could speak in tongues today. A lot of people still believe that they could prophesy. A lot of people still believe that they got this special gift of knowledge, but yet still nobody writing any new books. No book has been written after Revelation. The complete canon of the scriptures have been sealed, and there's no further spiritual knowledge that the Holy Spirit is imparting to man. The books are sealed. Everything else has been ceased and vanished away. 1 Corinthians 13, 8 to 10. Love never fails, but where there are prophecies, they will cease. Where there are tongues, they will be stilled. Where there is knowledge, it will pass away. In the first century now, this is written to Christians in the first century. For we know in part, and we prophesy in part, but when completeness comes, what is in part disappears. Thank you so much, the word of God is forever and ever blessed. Thank you, producer. Back to you, Sandra.
I thank you, my spiritual advisor.
Absolutely.
Well, folks, once again, I welcome each and every one of you who's joining me and my spiritual advisor here on Freedom March. In the midst of bad weather, lots of rain, there are students who attend the University of the Bahamas, and we're talking about students who hail from the Family Island, and they have levied a serious allegation in a country that argue that it is pro-woman, in a nation that says it puts women issues first. And they have accused two distinguished women, one a Negro and the other one a Canadian white woman. The Negro lady is Allison Maynard, who is the chairman of the University of the Bahamas, and the acting president, Janine Hodder. Janine Hodder is the acting president, and these students are alleging that together, those two women, whom the United States Embassy, the Nassau branch, a couple of weeks ago praised them as distinguished women, women who are contributing to the liberation and the development of the womandom in the Bahamas. Well, by grab, young women who are subject to crime, they are in peril because they allege that the university will not pay their rents. Now understand who these Negro students are. They are Family Island students who depends on the University of the Bahamas, as they allege, to pay their rents. But Allison and Janine ain't get around to it, and there lies an opportunity for them to be subjected to all kinds of exploitation because their human rights issue has been ignored, has been violated. I once again publicly call on the United States Embassy, the Nassau branch, to withdraw that high and distinguished honor which they bestowed upon Allison and Janine Hodder the other day, because it appears that since they have been honored, it has gotten to their heads and they are not doing that which these young Family Island Negro ladies expect it to be done. So these are some of the issues that is happening when the Americans don't do proper investigation. And just because Allison is a big-time lawyer and Janine has been acting at the university off and on, you know, this is like about 3 times since she's been the president of the University of the Bahamas. I think twice she was president. Now the 3rd time she's playing it. Well, I hope that I've shamed them today, and I do hope that they will pay them young women rent. Failing to pay their rent, they have been threatened with eviction. And the young people are now suffering from what I call Negro shame. Negro shame is you being a Negro, you are ashamed, and you have a right to complain, but you are shameless. See, you are so shamed that you internalizes it. And your shameness prevents you from standing up for that which you are entitled to. And that is what's going on. And once again, I am proving to all the womandom that notwithstanding who the American wish to make their hero, the Americans are wrong. The women can only depend on one hero, and that's me. So Allison and Janine are the zero of the womandom, and I and all the Bahamian men, we are the hero of the womandom. And I call on Allison and Janine, if you don't pay that rent, you're going to cause these girls to be sexually exploited. That's how bad it is. Okay? And I'm very saddened that these young women are defenseless and that there is no local organization in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas who is willing to represent them. So once again, I call on Allison Maynard. Allison, come on, Allison. If the Americans are honoring you, and if they claim that you are such a champion of the woman them, certainly you should fool the Americans some more by doing the right thing, and that would be powerful. And as for Janine, mine. If you don't, I can complain to my boy, and you know my boy don't mess around, and this is powerful. So I thought I'll say that, and my spiritual advisor, I'm Satan.
You're on your own with that.
I'm on my own of what?
Yeah, you're on your, with criticizing those folks. You're on your own with that.
Do you
I don't
believe-
have the facts. I don't know what's going on.
Do you believe, you don't need to have the facts.
What's going on, Sandra?
Do you believe,
And leave Allison Maynard alone, eh?
do you believe that female students whom the government has agreed that the University of the Bahamas shall pay their rent, Family Island students who perhaps has no relative in New Providence,
Providence, right.
should their rents be paid if that is the rule?
Yeah, it should be, yes. Absolutely.
Okay. And are you aware
Without the facts.
that the failure to pay those rents subject those females to a number of exploitation? Among them is eviction. Next, once they are evicted, they become vulnerable. And once they become vulnerable, then they can be exploited. And the first form of exploitation would start with S. And you know what?
Yeah, I think that's pushing it a bit too far, though, because don't forget now, Sandra, we have some very, very loving people who are always willing to extend the olive branch to those who are in need or maybe misfortunate.
You're not talking about landlords. I'm talking about landlords. You know
Give me a second.
personally that
Yeah, give me a
landlords
second.
are some of the worst neighbors in this country. Now you stop it.
But Sandra, we live in a country. If a person doesn't have a place to stay, somebody will welcome them into their home.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
how-
the danger.
That's how we go.
They being
It's not danger.
welcome in the wrong house because they have no family on the island of New Providence.
They'd be advised as to who they should live in.
No, Allison and Dawes should pay the rent.
Yes, I agree. But in the meantime, somebody will take them in.
My spiritual advisor, that can't be the solution.
There are a lot
The
of church
solution
groups
is-
that can help people.
What church
who-
group?
There are plenty of church groups that
Will you tell me
offer
some church group? Because I know some women
assistance.
who are not student, they got children, and they need roof now. And Miles LaRoda know many women who need roof with children. What church is this? Huh? What church?
I'll say that off air. When we go to the break, I'll give you the name.
No,
okay?
no, I would want you to say it.
No, I'm not going to do that.
Is it the Lord's church?
I'm not going to do that.
Because if it's the Lord's church,
We're always benevolent. Make no mistake.
but
about
in the
it.
first century, y'all never did it. I got you. In the first century, we couldn't get y'all to provide housing to Jezebel and all them other sinful women, right? So it's a simple problem. Allison Maynard, she and Janine Hodder, they must look. If the Americans claim that y'all are some of the outstanding women there, you're supposed to fool the Americans. Every time I come on TV, I'm supposed to be able to say, listen, Allison and Janine, they're paying all the rent for the woman there. But for them to not be paying these girl children rent, there's something got to be wrong with that. And I'm embarrassed as a man that they have to reveal to me that they ain't got no place to live. They are afraid of being evicted. Understand what it is. Suppose I was not a saved man. Suppose I was not old and saved. If a female say to you, sir, I have nowhere to live. Suppose I wasn't saved. Do you know what that means?
Oh, Jesus.
Upon hearing that, I quickly said a silent prayer.
God.
Because that was very tempting. It was very delicious. It was very sinful. And had I not been a saved man, look at what sin. I could have been led into. You know what it is for a young woman to say, "Sir, I have nowhere to lay my head, and I got 10 pillars." Allison, I'm going to have to write the American Embassy. I'm going to write the charge d'affaires.
No. Why don't you write the letter directly to the University of the Bahamas to find out why the rent wasn't paid?
No, that's the first
course of
what I'm
action.
writing the embassy for.
Yeah, but that's the first course
I'm
of
going to
action.
write the embassy.
Yeah, but see what you're doing, right?
Dear charge d'affaires, do you really think that Allison Maynard and Janine Horter are heroes among the woman them? And the female students' rent ain't being paid? Do we have to wait for these young girls to be exploited? The devil is a liar. And if Allison don't do it, she's gonna cost me to sin, her and Janine. Anyway, it's something what's going on in this country. Lord have mercy on young women who are depending on old women to provide them with leadership. I am certain that if men were responsible for paying the rent, the man them will pay all the woman them rent. Allison them must suck their teeth and say, who they think they is we should pay rent for them. These are our daughters, and their rent should be paid, okay? Okay, so we'll deal with that. Now I got another problem. The Public Hospital Authority has me very concerned because I am receiving complaints from nurses and their relatives that some of them have been sick, need surgery, and when they check on the insurance, a lady who works at the hospital authority, apparently she's responsible to make sure everybody is insured, but they can't find Juanita Rule. Do you know of Juanita Rule? If you can find Juanita Rule, would you please tell her that the nurses are reporting that every time they go to the Public Hospital Authority, she ain't reached the work yet. I mean, come. If I, who's sick, you could find me. Every citizen who's looking for me can find me at my government office. How come Juanita can't be found? When I come back, we're going to talk about Juanita Rule and the other Negroes who are in charge of the public hospital authorities. We will never let the nurses down, all right? They're very important, and I want their insurance to be paid now. I don't care where we need to get the money, just pay it. God save the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. God save nurses everywhere. We gotta pay their insurance. Welcome back to Freedom March. And before I continue, my complaint against the Public Hospital Authority and complaint of nurses and their families. Nurses who say that they have been sick, nurses who claim that they had to take surgery, and they're discovering that Juanita Penniman, I'm advised, is the lady who's responsible at the Public Hospital Authority for ensuring that all the nurses are insured, but they claim that every time they go to the Public Hospital Authority, Juanita Penniman is not there. And we'll talk about it, but let my spiritual advisor first pay bills. Bradley?
Yes. Join us for the Baines and Grandstand Homecoming and Music Festival from October 12th to the 14th and celebrate community heritage and empowerment with live performances, traditional Bahamian games, and the prestigious Cotton Tree Award, honoring those who have shaped the Bain and Grandstand community. 103.5 FM The Beat is your exclusive media sponsor, bringing you all the excitement live. So don't miss out on this incredible celebration. See you there. Looking for a quick getaway? Fly Western Air with daily flights from Freeport to Fort Lauderdale, starting at just $208 round trip, including 40 pounds of check bags. Book your next adventure now at westernAirBahamas.com. Everybody needs money always, so send money internationally and locally through Western Union with MoneyMax. Download the MoneyMax app today to send cash instantly to a family member or friend anytime and anywhere. Sending money has never been simpler. The app is available on the Apple Store and the Google Play Store. MoneyMax. Live your max life.
This is powerful. I thank you, my spiritual advisor. You said everybody needs money.
Everybody.
This is powerful.
Including me.
Wow. This is powerful. Well, folks, we're back to a complaint. The Health Minister, Dr. Michael Dowell, is doing everything in his power to, one, hold on to members of the nursing staff of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. He's doing everything. In addition to that, he has been in search of hiring more local nurses. But to that extent that he's not been successful, he has been compelled to go around the world and to bring nurses into our island nation so that we can have professionals to take care of our citizens. Well, we have nurses here in the Bahamas who's complaining that a lady by the name of Juanita Penniman, that they have difficulty when they go to the Public Hospital Authority. They cannot find Juanita Penniman. They are told that she either is not to work or she's gone to lunch. And it appears that Juanita Penniman is having a wonderful, wonderful lunch, and they just can't find her. And they are stressed because when they complain over a lack of insurance, they are told you have to wait for Juanita Penniman. But no one could find Juanita Penniman. So I'm going to give a reward out today. $50 for anyone who can pinpoint where Juanita Penniman will be. And if you're able to tell me where she will be so I could let the nurses know, you will make $50. That's as much as we can afford. But that is a major complaint. A nurse, she says she had to take a surgery. Now it's time to pay, and she ain't got no insurance. And I love how she blamed it on Juanita. So I said, but who you blaming? This is what I was saying to her family and supporters. They said, listen, it's Juanita Penniman. I said, you sure it's Juanita Penniman? She said, yes, Juanita Penniman. So I don't know. But I'm told that some of the top people, they told me that the chairman of the Public Hospital Authority is Anthony Edwards. And then the managing director of the Public Hospital Authority is Dr. Obinet Roll. And they're having difficulty. So I'm going to appeal to Anthony Edwards, who's the chairman of the Public Hospital Authority. Come, Anthony, why you want to bring the government in this kind of scandal? Don't you know that as the chairman, you have a duty to ensure that Dr., or should I say, Mrs. Penniman does a job. You have a duty. You have to realize that when you're holding these sensitive positions, you have to be politically astute. You have to sit back and say, boy, if I don't deal with this, this is going to create unnecessary political embarrassment for my minister. Who's my minister? That would be Dr. Michael Darville. And then by extension, it will cause embarrassment for the cabinet. And who's the cabinet? Well, the cabinet is fundamentally the prime minister and the men who sit around him in governance. So we shouldn't have nurses complaining that they can't have their insurance resolved. And I felt so bad as I had to listen to these complaints. So I need Anthony Edwards to see if he can find, what is the name of this lady? If he can find Juanita Penniman, okay? And then, of course, I'd like for the managing director, Aubinette Roll. I want her to join in, and I want them to get together with Juanita Penniman and start working on the insurance, okay? Take care of the nurses. The nurses do work hard. Yesterday, I happened to have gone to see my wife at the Princess Margaret Hospital, where she's a patient, and the nurses are working hard, very, very hard, and I need to make sure that they are taken care of, okay? And I think it would be powerful. My spiritual advisor, do you think the nurses should be taken care of?
Of course, man. Yeah, definitely. Nurses and teachers in particular, they should get first priority as relates to being taken care of.
Okay.
You know, they play a very, very important role in helping our society. So definitely.
Yeah. And the Public Hospital Authority is autonomous. But if they fail to do the right thing, it causes political problems for the Minister of Health. That's what it does. And by extension, it causes, it causes problem for the government of the Bahamas and senior officials who hold these quasi positions. They must understand what their duties are, and it needs to be solved. So we have two major problems today. Female students complaining that their rent are not being paid by two women that the United States Embassy praised. You see how the Americans just get it wrong? You see how they get it wrong? They're the Americans. They praise Alison Maynard. They call her a champion of the woman dam. They praise Janine, and they got it wrong. Janine them a champion in the woman dam cause, because if they were, them young girls, 16, 17, and 18, wouldn't be frustrated over how their rents are going to be paid when we took a commitment, when we made a commitment that Family Island students, their rents will be paid. So the Americans got it wrong, and I blame it on the CIA. Obviously, the CIA didn't do a good job in analyzing. I blame it on the CIA. I blame it on the FBI. I blame it on the DEA. Because if the FBI, the DEA, the CIA, and as Pendleton say, and any other A were doing their social investigation correctly, they would have known that Allison ain't do nothing for women since 1981. See, I bet you all didn't know that. The last time Alison Maynard did anything for the woman them is when she held hand with Janet Boswick outside Purity Bakery, and we march. Okay? See, y'all even remember that? Yeah. Alison and Janet, they held and they played the woman them. I look at them and I said, boy, this is interesting, eh? And Janet played, they played woman. Man, it was beautiful. They played woman, and they played championing the cause of the woman. And since it was a nice long march, I pushed them ahead. I said, go ahead, let's march. And we marched up and down. I bet you all remember that. Janet Bosbeck and Allison Maynard in 1981. Watch out for me. Well, I think we have dealt with that. And now I want to deal with the third woman issue. Do we have a rent board authority? I do recall that Pinling and Hannah, when I was small, they had passed legislation to establish a rental authority. That is what I remember. I haven't looked at that law in many, many years, but I remember it because Pinling and Hannah discovered, as they launched the social revolution, they discovered that there were a bunch of landlords who had a bunch of shanty apartment with outside toilet, all right? No running water. You had to bed off in the back of the yard. So they recognized that we who were renting were the victim of what I call Negro landlord exploitation. And Pinland them set it up. Now, I don't know if the PLP appointed anybody to that board, but I would like to publicly call on the Prime Minister to make me chairman of the Rental Board Authority, if that still exists, because today I had to go very, very early into Domingo Heights, having received a call from an 84-year-old woman. And interestingly enough, if you saw where she was living, as you approach it, it is a wonderful triplex. But when you get inside, it's leaking. And the sad part about it is there were lots of rain, and she got wet up last night. And I sympathized with her because I had the same experience where I lived in a house and I had to catch water. I used to catch enough water to bathe off in. Sometimes I set up a number 3 tub, sometimes I set up a bucket. And when the roof leaked, I catch water, and at the end of the day, I could bathe off or I could wash clothes. So I felt bad for her. She's 84, nice apartment, but the landlord wouldn't repair the roof. Isn't that amazing? She's paying her rent, the landlord wouldn't repair the roof. And she has no better place to go other than that. Now, she should have been able to pick up the phone, call an official from the Bahamas Rental Authority, if that still exists. And they were supposed to be able to come, look at that place, ask the name of the landlord, and cite him, and say to him, come, you gotta fix that. Well, you recall that a young man had called the show yesterday telling me that their member of parliament, that would be the House Speaker, Miss Patricia DeVoe, she had some, is it called HAP, my spiritual advisor? Top. Or TAP?
Top.
TAP.
For the roof, right?
For the roof. So I was in contact with him as I sat in her leaky house very early this morning. And then, of course, I was in contact with the speaker. I was so excited when the speaker answered my phone. I normally say a prayer when I call these powerful politicians in the presence of ordinary citizens who think I got power and influence. I would say a silent prayer, Lord, let this politician answer my phone. And God answered my prayer, and the speaker answered the phone. I told her where I was. I sent her a photograph of the lady. I sent her a photograph of the apartment. I sent her a location marker. And I was excited when the speaker confirmed that she had some of those TAP in her office. And she says, notwithstanding that it is a rental unit, she cannot ignore the fact that this is a rainy period, and she could not allow any citizen, particularly somebody in set with Mama Dem, 84 years old. So she says she's going to dispatch 2, perhaps 3 Negro men with the top, and she's going to send them on the roof and see how best they can patch the roof, because in the woman's bedroom, it's leaking. In the kitchen, it's leaking. It's in the front room, it was leaking. And I noticed how the woman looked at me and she realized like I was kind of comfortable. I didn't want to say to her, listen, I so used to leaky roof that I felt comfortable in her leaky roof, no pun intended. But I haven't heard from the lady, so I told her at some point, give me a call so I could know that the speaker has delivered those men, and the men are on top of that roof, and they're fixing that roof, because we cannot allow our citizens to be in houses that leak, because you can catch cold, all right? So it's just amazing what is happening in our society. But in this case, if we have an active rent control board who would be able to inspect immediately, we can hold the landlord accountable. Or the government could say to him, listen, you either repair it, we will repair it, and we will collect the rent for a certain period of time. I don't know. I'm trying to find a solution to solve some of these egregious social problems that are affecting our people as we are threatened with the possibility of a storm. Mr. Spiritual Advisor, what about in Joe Farrington Road? I was told that there was something phenomenal that took place.
Well, it could have been a water spout.
There was a water spout.
More than likely, yeah.
Okay.
That I think it ripped off a portion of somebody's roof. So,
okay.
Yeah. So
Nobody was injured.
I don't think so.
And nobody disappeared. It didn't like pick up anybody and just throw them away.
No. We had a video yesterday of it. I don't know. We still have it, producer. We'll have to go flip through to get it. So maybe we could show it at 5 o'clock.
Okay.
But we do have a video. Yeah.
Do you have any idea what causes a water spout?
It comes off from the ocean side.
Okay.
Combination of wind.
Wind?
Spiraling off the waterfront, and then it ends up on the land. And whatever's in its path, it's almost like a tornado.
Okay.
But they call it a water spout.
A water spout.
Yeah.
And it's not because it spouts water.
Well, that may be a part of it. I've experienced it in the South Beach area before.
You're having water spout in your area?
Yeah, it ripped down a couple of BPL's power lines.
Okay.
Because of the force. It's someplace in there. We'll find it maybe
Well, I
around 5
know
o'clock.
in 2012, 2013, the Perry Christie administration was faced with it when in certain parts of Bamboo Town, Renwood Wells was then the PLP Member of Parliament, there were a series of alleged water spouts that ripped off quite a number of roofs, and Renwood being a part of the PLP threw its full support behind him and that initiative to repair the many roofs in his constituency, and I think the constituency of Shane Gibson. I don't know if you recall that around 2012, 2013.
No, I don't remember
Yeah,
that.
that's what happened. So, folks, these tropical phenomena are very powerful, and that is why yesterday it was very important that Prime Minister Philip Brave Davis addressed the nation and has called Bahamians to be alert and to make the necessary preparation, because we do not know when a storm could shift towards our direction. And an example of that is we are watching what is taking place in the state of Florida. And the state of Florida, most of it seems to have been evacuated. The civil authorities in that state has called on U.S. residents to take it seriously. They have calculated that the tidal wave could be perhaps as high as 15 feet, which will overwhelm many of the structures and just break it down.
What tidal wave? Storm surge.
Storm surge. They have predicted that there would be storm surges as high as 15 feet, which can break down homes, and it run the risk of drowning citizens. In fact, civil authority in the state of Florida has called on Americans that if they're not evacuating, those who are bold and daring to remain home, they said if you're staying home, at least put an identification on your body so that when you are drowned, so that when you are killed, and we now come to recover your body, we will have no difficulty in identifying you. I thought that was a wonderful, wonderful suggestion. And perhaps here in the Bahamas, we could adopt that, because there are many of us who do not go to safer grounds. What do you think, my spiritual advisor?
Yeah, it makes sense. Does make sense.
Yeah.
They wanted to write with some permanent marker, I guess who they are, date of birth, whatever have you,
Okay.
so they could be easily identified.
This is powerful. So we have to be prepared. There is still an alert for the northern part of the Bahamas, my spiritual advisor?
No, I agree also with you. I am, after I didn't see anything happening with weather today, I didn't pay much attention.
Okay, well, there
Because
is an alert.
There's an alert for for the northern Bahamas.
Yeah.
I don't have it though.
Okay.
So I can't.
So there
I can't
is
read it.
an alert. People living in Abaco, Grand Bahama,
And
Bimini.
and the surrounding islands.
Yeah, they have been told to be on guard and watch out. And one of the things about hurricane, one of the things about storms is it's unpredictable. It could be heading north and then all of a sudden it's south. Take for instance Milton. I'm not intimidated by Hurricane Milton.
I don't get confused with the wobbling now. I mean, that it's still going to hit the west coast of Florida. It's not coming to the Bahamas. It's going to have a direct hit somewhere around the Tampa area, thereabouts. It could move a little further south, but south of the western coast of Florida, not the Bahamas.
Okay. Well, I'm not afraid of this particular hurricane because I do have a wonderful first cousin. His name is Milton, and Milton, by his very nature, he's always been calm, a very decent gentleman. And so, looking at this hurricane, I do believe that it will take on the characteristic of my cousin, and I don't think it will come here. But nevertheless, we ought to be prepared. And there's been all sorts of talk. So, have you bought your bread yet? Have you bought tuna? Have you bought your canned goods? Have you gone to the public pump and fill up your bucket? Have you done so? Those things are very, very important. And although you might have gas stove, have you bought a little extra container of gas just in case the wind take away your gasoline? I don't know. And have you strapped that down? Those things are very, very important. Have you bought yourself a lantern? Because the electricity may turn off. Have you bought yourself some searchlight? Searchlight is very, very important. Those things are very important. Do you have a transistor radio, a radio that goes with battery? Do you have that? So you need your radio, you need your searchlight, you need lantern, perhaps a lamp. Then you need to buy a lot of matches. Buy some matches so you can have your match on the side. And perhaps one or two candles, but please be careful of the candle. I would prefer if you had a lantern or an oil lamp. A candle could be dangerous sometimes if you're not very, very careful, but lamp, lantern, and searchlight, very, very essential. And then, of course, they keep telling us that there's the canned goods, okay? And perhaps bread. Now, you have to be careful because this is a time when many stores, this is when you see the works of the devil in the food stores, where they begin to gouge, they begin to put up the prices, where bread start going up, all right? I've decided that if I went to buy bread, and if the bread is too expensive, I will tell them, keep in the bread, all right? But you can't do what I do, because you may have little baby children, all right? So you need your bread, and then of course, some of us perhaps might want to make a little sauce, because it's good during the storm to either cook some boiled food. You might want to cook some pea soup, some bean soup, or you might want some chicken sauce. So if you think that the storm is coming, you might want to buy 5 or 6 pounds or $5 or $6 worth of chicken wing. And then of course you can make some sauce. lots of pepper, lots of lime juice, plenty onion, little cassava on the side, little potatoes. That would be very, very good. And then, of course, you might want to cook some white rice with it. I don't know. But you have to think about what is the best meal in the storm. And I would suggest little sauces and little soup. And then, of course, you have to take into consideration that you may have senior relatives. You want to check on them. You want to know where they are. Then you need to know what to do. If the storm is threatening you, do you know where to go? Do you? It's very important, all right? Lord, protect us from the storm. Lord, there are many saved people in the land. Protect the land, dear Lord. I am certain if we count, there are many saved people. Welcome back to Freedom Match. My name is Rodney Monker. And of course, we have been talking about one or two issues that affected the country. We told you about the student whose school rents are not being paid by Deason Allison Maynard Gibson and Deason Janine order. These are two women who have been chosen by the Embassy of the United States of America as wonderful women contributing to women's rights. And then, of course, we've told you how at the government-run Princess Margaret Hospital, there are allegations being emerged that Juanita Penniman, who works at the Public Hospital Authority, she cannot be found. Nurses are frustrated. They have alleged that their insurance is not being paid, and they are frustrated as some of them are having surgery. So I need Juanita to go to work and stay to work, and then send out WhatsApp and say, listen, this week I'm just going to be to work, okay? So that's one of the things that is happening. And then, of course, I told you about the 84-year-old woman who lives in Bamboo Town who's renting, but the landlord, he collects the rent, wouldn't repair the hole in the roof. And poor mama, when she lay down in the bed, she get wet. And the house is leaking. But the speaker, praise the Lord, the speaker is Miss Patricia DeVoe, and she's committed to helping the woman there. Now that's who the American Embassy should regard as a freedom fighter, a woman who is championing the cause of the woman them, and that would be powerful. But it's time for birthday, my spiritual advisor.
Yeah, we got a couple.
Are you ready?
Yeah, let's do some.
Well, to the mark, get set, go.
We got some birthday shout-outs. Okay, so is it Antonia Etienne is celebrating a birthday today. Happy birthday to Antonia Etienne. Is coming in from her dad, Anthony, and mom Renee, sisters Antonique and Rajani, her niece, Ajane, nephews Dajane and Ajron, and in memory of her brother DJ Swa, family and friends. Also her friend Elsime McIntosh. So happy birthday to Antonia Etienne.
And I join in saluting Antonia Etienne a happy birthday, and I'm certain that all the people of Masonsville, that's Mason Edition, also join me in wishing you a happy birthday. It's powerful.
Indeed. Okay, so you want to send a happy birthday shout out to Felicia Davis. Felicia Davis is celebrating the birthday. It's coming from happy birthday to my granddaughter. Felicia Davis is coming from her mother and her father, sister and brothers, family and friends, and the nephew Keyshawn. So happy birthday, Felicia Davis. Barry Johnson is celebrating the birthday. It's coming from Deborah Edgecombe. So happy birthday to Barry Johnson. Dion DeVoe, happy birthday to Dion DeVoe, coming from Deborah Edgecombe and family. Benjamin Brennan, look who is 11. We'd like to send out belated birthday greetings out to my son, Benjamin Matthias Brennan. Oh, he's 1A. Forgive me. I see 2 1s. Oh, I see it. Forgive me. Look who is 1. And I do see the difference in the numeral. I would like to send a belated birthday greeting to my grandson, Benjamin Matthias Brennan, who's celebrating his first birthday. Greeting coming from his grandmother, Edris Miller, his uncles, Harry Watson and Kennell Farrington, and all his family and friends. They love you. They pray you live to see many, many more. Grandma loves you. Enjoy your day. Happy birthday, Benjamin Brennan. Delrish Roll, happy birthday to Delrish Roll. That's coming from Samantha Betty and Shani, your brothers, Kevin Batch, and Ainsworth, and your daughters. They love you. Happy birthday, Delrish Roll. Deja Dorset. Good afternoon, Freedom Marchers. Happy birthday to my daughter, WPC 4602. Deja Dorset. It's coming from your mom, Crystal Dorset, your daughter, Autumn, your brothers, Carlos and Kian, your grandmother, Janet Dorset, your grandfather, Franklin Riley, your aunts, uncles, and cousins and friends. They love you. Enjoy many more with blessings, love, and peace. Happy birthday to Deja Dorset. All right. What do you have, Sandra?
Well, I found it interesting that Benjamin Brennan is still one. I went to school with Benjamin Brennan in 1966 and 1967. That's how Benjamin is still 1 year old. Benjamin has to be about 66 to 67 years old. You sure this is not a mistake?
Benjamin Brennan?
Yeah. I went to school with him at Oaksfield Primary.
That's probably a different one. Probably different.
You sure?
Yeah, it has to be, eh?
Because Benjamin should be like 66, 67. And we went to primary school together. How he get 1 year old? You think it's
it's another Benjamin.
You think it's another Benjamin?
Yeah,
okay.
Of course, definitely.
All right. Well, people do name alike. Well, I want to wish Benjamin, who's 1 year old today, and Benjamin, whom I went to primary school with in 1966 and 1967, happy birthday. It's powerful. That's it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think is there some announcement, let's get this, with some airport closures, maybe in the northern Bahamas? Let's see if we could do this quickly. Let's see. Yeah, so there's a full list related to airport closures. New Providence is not affected, but looking at the Marsh Harbor Airport, tropical storm winds from 40 to 58 miles. Also, Marsh Harbor, the Treasure Key Airport, the Abaco Moores Island Airport, the Abaco Sandy Point Airport, and Grand Bahama. The Berry Islands and Great Harbor Key, no closures on that airport, and also Bimini. So we understand they'll be closed, I think, at sunset. So the Abaco, the Marsh Harbor, Abaco Airport, Treasure Key Airport, Moores Town, Moores Island Airport, the Abaco and Sandy Point, the Sandy Point Airport, and also Grand Bahama and Bimini. Those airports will be closed. Some look like they will have been closed as of 2 p.m. Is today tonight, Sandra?
Is what?
Is the day the 9th of October?
Today is the 9th of October.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So we got that out. All right. Thank you so much, producer. I hope I said that correctly. But yeah, look like those airports are gonna be closed.
Okay. It's powerful.
Yes, indeed.
So we're finished with that?
Yeah, we go ahead now.
Well, last night the Prime Minister spoke to the nation. He has warned Bahamians to be ready because we are in the heart of the hurricane season. And once again, we have to re-emphasize, particularly for most of you who like to go to the state of Florida, we are able to see by television exactly what is taking place in the state of Florida and the necessary preparation that is being taken that will save perhaps millions of lives. And while there is threat of Hurricane Milton making a powerful landfall in the state of Florida, I'm advised that behind Milton is another storm. Is that true, my spiritual advisor?
Well, I haven't been checking the weather.
You've not been checking the weather.
No.
But there's allegation that there is another storm perhaps following Milton. That is what I understand. Please don't hold me to it, but it appears that this is another storm. I'm not sure if this storm came from Africa, because it appears that Milton is not an African hurricane.
No.
I got the impression that Milton represents the what is the name of that part of the ocean right near the States? What is the name of that?
It's the Gulf?
The Gulf. All right. So I don't know what's going on. Scientists say it is climate changes taking place. So we have to always look at these things from a scientific perspective. But we should leave that for the scientists. Those of us who are into theology, Christian teaching, and other spiritualism, we believe that a lot of these signs that we are seeing is a manifestation
Punishment
of the
from God.
fact that we are sinful. And if you were to look at the United States, never before in the history of the United States that we have seen a government that has been pushing some of the biggest sins in the world. And for those of us who believe in Christianity, sometimes we conclude that this is God punishing us. And then, of course, those who don't believe that the state and religion should be combined, they will get upset and say, those foolish people trying to inject religion. So perhaps this would not be applicable to the United States. But if it comes to the Bahamas, it's applicable to the Bahamas, because we have seen in more modern time that many of our people who have claimed to be Christian, they're doing some of the most sinful things. Okay? There was a point when some of our sins were secret. They were very secret. But now our sins are open. Okay? Not that you could have hidden it from God if it was secret, but the sins are open. So there is mass fornication taking place. So everybody's fornicating, everybody's doing their own thing, and some are singing some of the devil's song. No one can tell me who to suck it to. It's my thing. You see, that's devilish, okay? And so no longer are we attending church. No longer are we attempting to lift up our minds spiritually. No longer are our thoughts pure. Our children, they went away, they got a good education, they came back, and they wouldn't hide from us, their parents, that they're sissies. You follow? 20 years ago, the children came home, they were gay. We didn't know. Today, they throw it in our face. All right? They come right out and they tell you it broke dad's heart, break mom's heart, and so forth. So all these sins are going on. Just the other day, some of our children, many of them used to be in the choir. They just call a secret pride celebration. So they're secretly having gay pride. And I was compelled to send them like an email and say, listen, cancel that until after the storm. I wanted to test my theory. I can't believe that if they cancel it, the storm will duck us. Now, if the storm comes, it suggests to me that they did not cancel it. And you can't tell them nothing, all right? Because they're smarter than us. They got one big meeting going on, and certainly what they're talking about is very, very sinful. Man is sinful? Oh, man, it is so sinful. In the midst of a storm, we could possibly be wiped out. Now, for those who are not saved, they won't believe that. They will come up with all kind of scientific reason, not recognizing that God is the author of science. Anyway, we have to continue to pray, and we have to prepare. So there's pray and preparation. Pray and preparation. So as you pray, you need to find some plywoods. As you pray, you need to go and start stocking up. You have to become your neighbor's keeper. And then for those of you who have big time house, you got to let your poor relative come and spend the night if the storm comes. Okay? I think that's very important. I already identify a relative of mine who has a big house. So I don't know. Perhaps I'll just show up and say to him, I was passing by, and since it's raining hard, I might as well just hang out here, because he got a big house. And I'm certain if I move in the garage, they wouldn't even know I'm there. So these are some of the things that is happening. And then, of course, you got to play with the animals. Today, I got up and I count all of my cats. I got about 15 cats, and I asked my colleagues to feed them. So I fed like 15 cats today. I have plenty of cat food. And then I got about 4 cats my cats, they knock right up because I don't believe in bite control. And they're pregnant. And I said to my son,
Let me tell you.
get me some newspaper, get me some old blanket, because if this hurricane comes, the catty gonna have to move in. Because I'm not gonna allow my pussycat to drown. Okay? And they're so beautiful. Honestly, I wish I could bring them to the studio so you can see them. They're beautiful. And of course, if you're wealthier than me, I could use some extra cat food, okay? And then I have a nice pot cake. Ah, he's beautiful. And the hurricane is coming. If you have extra dog food, my dog, Stugaloo, he could use a little extra food because I'm watching what the Americans are doing. The Americans say, in this storm, you must give the dog peanut butter and bread. I don't know if I could give them my last bit of peanut butter. So if you all have any extra peanut butter, I could use me some peanut butter for my dog. But it's great. So I have 15 cats. Man, they're beautiful. And what I like about my cat, they talk to me. And they talk to me. And I've been singing the song that Trump sings to my cat. It's beautiful. You may as well have fun. And I'm having fun in the midst of the storm. We have to protect the animals. Them cat of mine, they can have to sleep in the house. Okay? I can't allow them to drown. They're beautiful. Ah, they're beautiful. And every time I see them, they remind me of their father. I haven't seen their father in a long time. His name is Jeremiah, but he's left a good stock. They're beautiful cat. And the thing about the cat is they've been doing a lot of interbreeding, so everybody look alike. It's just amazing. Everybody look alike. It's beautiful, beautiful cats. I have no rats. I do have some roaches though, but I don't have any rats. Talking about roaches, do y'all have anything that I could use to kill little roach? I don't know where the hell this roach came from. It looked to me like my cat loved roach because I noticed one or two of them start catching them. I didn't know cat like roach, but they're very small. You should see Kitty just grabbing them and throwing them up in the air. But it's fun, and I'm having a good time with my cat. So if the storm comes, we have to protect the animals, okay? You hear that? You bring the dog in the house, you bring the cat in the house. You can't allow God-dumb animal to drown. Isn't that powerful? My spiritual advisor, do you have any cats?
Yeah, man.
Really?
I have about 9 cats.
Really?
That I take care of. Yeah, I actually got the neighbor across the street from me. Some stray cats came into the area, or a stray cat or two came into the area, and they just keep multiplying.
What color are these cats?
Gray and white, black and white. One is like an orange color and gray. But the reason why I feed these cats is because I don't have to worry about any rats.
Okay.
Since the cats have been in the area, you don't have to worry about rats and centipede, frogs, snakes. So we don't have that issue anymore.
Right.
Yeah. So every day I make sure I buy a little extra food and I feed them either early in the morning or in the evenings when I come.
What do you feed them?
Peas and rice, pork chop, coleslaw, macaroni, potato salad.
Really? You can cause them cat to get diabetes, man. Jesus have mercy.
Burger King,
Yeah, really?
Wendy's.
Really? That's powerful. That's good cat food.
Man, they love it.
Yeah, this is great.
They love it, man. So,
Yeah, we have to take care of our animals, okay? It's very important. If the storm comes, you gotta protect Brongy. You gotta protect the cats. You gotta protect the dog. My cats, I've been training my cats. My neighbor, I saw my neighbor peeping around my wall because he was shocked to see that I was training the cat to attack. I'm using my cat as security dog. And person come into my yard, I can tell my cat to attack. In fact, I had a woman came into my yard the other day, and I almost put the cat on her. Can you imagine that? I was going to put the cat on her, And I know if she had called the police, they would not have shot my cat. But I'm training my cats. People are not aware that you can train animals. And about 43 years ago, I did security work for the Bahamas Taxi Cab Union, and they were shocked when they discovered that my cat was trained as a security animal. And when they saw how trained the cat was, they gave me the contract. And any time I went to sleep and they sneak upon me, my cat would attack them. You have the hurricane yourself?
Well, let's
Go ahead, my spiritual advisor. I'm having fun. What is the latest?
What's the latest on? Let's see what's the latest on Hurricane Milton. So let's look at the National Hurricane Center's 2 p.m. advisory on the storm. So the National Hurricane Center at 2 p.m. today issued a statement on this storm. Milton has lost strength and has downgraded from a Category 5 hurricane to a Category 4 hurricane with sustained winds of about 130 miles an hour. So this Category 4 Hurricane Milton is 130 miles west of west of Florida and 150 miles southwest of Tampa, with maximum sustained winds of about 130 miles, and it's picked up speed. It's moving at 16 miles per hour to the north-northeast. So a turn towards the northeast with a decrease in force speed is expected this evening and tonight. So a turn toward the east-northeast and east is expected on Thursday and Friday. And the forecast track the center of Milton. On the forecast track, the center of Milton will make landfall along the west central coast of Florida tonight. So cross the Florida Peninsula overnight and early Thursday and move off the east coast of Florida over the western Atlantic Ocean on Thursday. Forecast explains. So Milton is expected to remain an extremely dangerous major hurricane when it reaches the west central coast of Florida tonight and remain at hurricane strength while it moves across the Florida Peninsula through Thursday. They also said gradual weakening is forecasted while Milton moves eastward over the West Atlantic, and it's likely to become an extra tropical storm by early Friday. So that's the latest. That's coming from the National Hurricane Center.
That's powerful.
That's the latest on Milton.
So there's no threat to the Bahamas?
The northeastern islands of Grand Bahama, Bimini, and Abaco probably experience, some wind, some rain.
Okay.
That'll probably be it. That'll probably be the worst of it. While in the Providence, we probably, I don't know, we may not get anything because look at what's happening all day. It was extremely, I lost a whole day today.
Why did you lose the whole day?
Because, you got this information that the weather was going to start to deteriorate around 12 o'clock and all this yada yada, you close all the schools and,
Now why are you attacking the government for taking precautionary measures? Stop it.
I'm not attacking the government, Sandra.
We had to close the
I'm talking about me.
down.
I'm not attacking anybody. I lost a day.
Who stopped you from going to work? I went to work in the rain.
I was listening to
Goodness of mercy. No matter what the PLP does.
I lost a whole day, man. I need to be paid.
Well, I say go and get it back. This is Freedom March. God save the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Lord, spare the Bahamas from this storm. And Lord, save Miami. Every Bahamian in our lifetime must go to Miami. God save the King. Welcome back to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker. Bradley Roll is my spiritual advisor, and I think he has the 5 o'clock hurricane alert. Which one you want to go with first? Bills?
Yeah, let's
or
pay some
hurricane?
bills. Let's pay some bills. Then, of course, like I tell you, I wasn't following everything today because I was mad. I was upset. I went and I sat down and was saying a little prayer before I had a little sandwich. And I said, man, I messed up my whole day. You know?
I'm going to suggest...
Time lost cannot be gained again, you know.
That's because
you understand that?
You were lazy.
Whatever goes, whatever you lose, when you Sandra,
You were lazy.
Sandra, stop that man.
I start
The
the
people
morning
tell me,
out
say, 12
in
o'clock?
South Beach.
The people say 12 o'clock.
I start the morning out in
You
Bamboo
ain't
Town
listening.
visiting
You ain't
an
listening.
84-year-old
Yeah.
woman.
Good, God bless you, man.
Right?
God bless you.
And
But you
I
ain't
should
listening.
not have gone to work.
But you ain't listening.
I'm listening.
They told me at 12 o'clock the weather was going to start to deteriorate. See, when you're in the landscaping business, it didn't make any sense for me to gather my troops. And then at 12 o'clock, we had to stop working, and I got to pay them for a full day.
Goodness me.
All right? I lose money like that.
Okay.
So you got to be smart when you're in business. Other than that, you'll fail. So I there thinking now we're going to have this terrible day. And some of my clients was like, Mr. Roll, okay, let's don't bother with coming to the property today, and let's wait till the weather passes. I just look at the window just now at the studio. It's beautiful, Sarah.
Well, you can still go to work, my
It's
spiritual advisor.
beautiful. Now?
Yeah. I got up early, I got a bath, and I went to find an 84-year-old woman.
God bless you.
Whose roof was leaking.
And you didn't carry
And-
ice and water shield?
No.
It's amazing.
I
eh?
made sure that I contacted her MP,
Who's MP?
the Speaker of the House, the Honorable Patricia DeVoe,
Okay.
and I am satisfied she has delivered.
Great.
Go ahead.
So join us for the Baines and Grandstand Homecoming and Music Festival from October the 12th to the 14th and celebrate community heritage and empowerment with live performances, traditional Bahamian games, and the prestigious Cotton Tree Award, honoring those who have shaped the Baines and Grandstand community. 103.5 FM The Beat is your exclusive media sponsor, bringing you all the excitement live. So don't miss out on this incredible celebration. See you there. Looking for a quick getaway? Fly Western Air with daily flights from Freeport to Fort Lauderdale, starting at just $290 round trip, including 40 pounds of checked bags. Book your next adventure now at westernAirBahamas.com. Everybody needs money always, so send money internationally and locally through Western Union with Money Max. Download the Money Max app today to send cash instantly to a family member or friend anytime and anywhere. Sending money has never been simpler. The app is available on the Apple Store and Google Play Store. Money Max. Live your max life. All right, so we do have the latest advisory on Hurricane Milton. This is, of course, advisory number 19. And here's what we have from the NWS, which is the National Hurricane Center located in Miami, Florida. All right, as of 5 p.m., that's Wednesday, October the 9th, 2024, Milton is approaching the coast of west central Florida. Life-threatening storm surge, damaging winds, and flooding rains expected across portions of central and southwestern Florida. Milton is located at 26.9 degrees north, 83.4 degrees west, or about 60 miles southwest of Sarasota, Florida. About 170 miles southwest of Orlando, Florida, and maximum sustained winds about 120 miles, which makes it a Category 3. Present movement is northeast, 35 degrees and 17 miles per hour, and the minimum central pressure is 948 millibars. The tropical storm north of Savannah River to Edisto Beach, South Carolina, has been graded to a tropical storm warning. The hurricane watches for the dry Tortugas and Florida East Coast north of Ponte Vedra Beach to the mouth of the St. Mary River, and for the Florida West Coast from Chokoski to south of Bonita Beach have been discontinued. All right, so they're saying that the tropical storm watch for north at Edisto Beach have been discontinued. So let's just information for Florida, basically. So, storm surges, meaning like life-threatening storm surge, rising water moving inland to coastline, but it's expected in the next 36 hours, as
That's
indicated.
for Florida.
Yeah, so that's just for Florida.
Yeah, okay.
All right, so we don't need stats.
Okay, well, just hold on for a few seconds.
Yeah.
Well, folks, even as the spiritual advisor pointed out, in the United States and particularly in the state of Florida, there is a major controversy evolving. It is between the governor of Florida, Mr. What's his name, my spiritual advisor?
Is it Ron DeSantis?
Say it again.
Is it Ron DeSantis?
Mr. Ron DeSantis and the Vice President of the United States of America. Apparently, Mrs. Kamala Harris has called the governor of the state of Florida, but he has refused, it is alleged, to answer the call. And of course, there has erupted a political dispute. Ron DeSantis has accused the Democrat nominee, that's Kamala Harris, of making politics out of the storm. He has alleged that during the previous hurricanes, she's never called him. And he's very, very upset. He's accused her of attempting to exploit the storm and to make it political. So there are some of the allegations that's coming from the United States. As the greatest election is taking place, the greatest campaign, and I call once again on the Negro people. Are you a Negro? Are you of the African race? Are you a descendant? Our candidate is Donald Trump. Remember what Trump say? Fight, fight, fight. Trump, Trump, Trump. Fight, fight, fight. Trump, Trump, Trump. If you do not vote for Trump, if you do not pray for Trump, you are practicing racism. Racism is terrible, okay? If you vote for Mrs. Harris, that's racism because you are alleging that you're voting for her because she's black. Come on, man. Gone are the days when you just vote for black people. You're voting on policy, okay? And the person with the best policy is Trump. He's going to protect the borders of the United States. That's one. He's going to build a big wall, and hopefully Mexico will pay for it. That's two. And then, of course, he is going to work on the economy of the United States. He's going to make America great. And once America is great, then her greatness will shine on the Bahamas. Remember the slogan, vote for Trump. Yes, indeed. Donald Trump knows what the Bahamas need. I call on you to reject racism. Your rejection of racism means voting for Trump and praying for him. Remember, fight, fight, fight. Trump, Trump, Trump. It's powerful. Now, my spiritual advisor.
Well, let's open the lines.
You may, just hold on a second. Now, my spiritual advisor, bring the camera back to me so that the spiritual advisor would know that a supporter of Donald Trump is here. Now, my spiritual advisor, I want you to know that you may now open the lines. It's powerful.
Okay, the lines are open. Stormwatch, the lines are open. 323-7775-6980-775-6980-776. Call us. We got about 20 minutes. We dug into your time about 9 minutes, and we do apologize about that. But you can call us to discuss, issues in the Bahamas and the weather. 323-7775-6980-775-6980-776. Welcome to Freedom March. Call you live.
Spiritual advisor,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Monka,
So,
you need to stop talking foolishness about Trump, You don't know he's the devil, eh?
stop saying that, man. That's sinful.
No, man, you need to really follow Trump.
I think he's a wonderful American citizen. I believe he will make America great again. And I think he will create peace in our time. Isn't that powerful?
If you want ratings, just ask for ratings.
Whose ratings?
But Putin got Trump in his pocket.
I don't want nobody to vote for ratings. ratings and Mr. Harris, you're voting for Trump. That's who I want. Ratings? The hell with Mr. Ratings. We're voting for Trump.
Thank you so much, caller.
Thank you.
You're welcome. 323-7775. Welcome to Freedom March Call. You're live.
Hey, good afternoon. Spiritual advisor, Brother Micah.
Sir.
You see how real politicians move?
How do they move?
You saw the response you got this morning from Madam Speaker?
I do.
That is how politicians take care of their constituents.
This is powerful.
Not 3, 4, 5 days later. Right away.
Right away.
Right away.
I want you to tell Madam Speaker how proud I am of her.
You must be. I'm also proud, sir.
Okay.
I'm also proud.
Thank you,
I
sir.
will continue to do whatever I can to push her over the finish line.
This is
All right.
powerful.
Thank you so much, caller. Take care.
God bless.
All right. Welcome to Freedom March Call. You're live.
Afternoon, Spiritual Advisor.
Yes, good afternoon, caller. Go ahead.
Afternoon, Rodney Manka.
Sir.
Spiritual Advisor, you're right. A whole day wasted today.
Yes.
The children could have been in school. Oh, Lord, they just mess us right activity. But through all, we give God thanks.
Yeah.
But,
I lost a whole day's salary.
oh, man.
Anyhow.
That's such a flesh.
Yep. Absolutely.
You guys have a good day. Great show.
You too now. Take care now, caller. All the best. Okay? Welcome to Freedom March Call. You're live. Are you there, caller?
A pleasant, blessed good afternoon.
Ezekiel,
Yes, sir.
you stand on the
Let us
promised land.
continue to pray for this nation. And then Zion travailed sons and daughters, but this storm will pass us by. And I'd like to send out a shout to everybody which have put the deposit a loved one back to Mother's Earth, doing this starting from tomorrow, that he has no sorrow, that heaven cannot heal. And let us continue to pray for the sick and the shut-in. Let us continue to pray for those incarcerated. And to everybody that knows Ezekiel, better known as Brother Joe, but to use the spiritual advisor and Mr. Manka, stay on top of the mountaintop, and you encourage Mr. Manka, and Mr. Manka encourage her. And when Zion travailed, sons and daughters will be born into the kingdom.
Amen.
And y'all have a blessed afternoon. God have blessed you.
Yes, you take care.
Ezekiel, brother, better known as Job.
Take care
And
now.
y'all have a blessed afternoon.
We thank you.
All right, take care, caller. Next caller. Welcome to Freedom March Caller. You're live.
Spiritual advisor,
Yes, sir. How are you?
spiritual advisor, you happy that no rain coming? What happened to you want the rain to come? And damage Obama? What happened to you?
Producer,
Why you mad?
we can take the next caller. Welcome to Freedom March Caller. You're live.
Hello.
Yes, good afternoon, caller. How are you?
Yes, I am fine, Mr. Spiritual Advisor. I'm Mr. Rodney. Mr. Rodney, you got to stop talking this foolish about Donald Trump because he's the devil.
No, that is
He's
not
a wicked
true.
man.
Satan does not look like him.
Stop it. Yes, he looked at watch him. He never have a smile on his face.
That is not
Just
true.
like the devil.
Woman,
he
you're not
always with a
saved.
frown and his face, and he lies too much.
You stop
and
that.
you must be one lie like him. That's why you like him so much.
You stop
because
that.
he lies too much.
I say, woman, stop
Every
it.
time he's open his mouth, he's telling a lie.
Stop it.
Okay?
I say, stop
and
it.
If you want to lie like him, then you sure wouldn't be on the program if you want to lie
Woman,
like him.
I say, stop it before I name you.
Then that's your business. I don't
I say, I
care.
can name you once. Oh, these people ain't saved. Donald is not the devil. Lucifer does not favor him. Go ahead.
Welcome to Freedom March Caller. You're live.
Good afternoon.
Welcome to Freedom March Caller.
Hey, special answer. Oh, good afternoon, special advisor.
Yes,
good afternoon,
sir.
Senator.
Yes, sir.
So,
Senator, remember that one you said when I just learned this. My pastor just teach me this.
Let me
French.
hear
Say
it.
all them hurricanes,
Yeah.
they are angels.
wow.
And I give me a chapter, and I had two chapters I learned long time.
Let me hear it.
Revelation chapter 7.
Yes.
And that one you talk about when you say anyone faithful.
Yeah.
That's Genesis chapter 18. But
Okay.
this one I just learned. Spiritual Rise, you can write this down. I just Ecclesiastes chapter 39 and 27. Y'all have a blessed day.
You said the hurricanes are angels?
Yeah, he tell me all them is angels. Man, come on, man, Spiritual Rise. You know that?
Who told you that?
My pastor.
What's his name?
No, but no, we ain't talking that. You ain't gonna do it like that. Spiritual riser, go get your Revelation chapter 7 and read it.
Okay, I will.
No, but listen, all fun of jokes. I just learned this one.
Okay,
Ecclesiastes chapter 39 and 27. Read that, my brother.
hurricanes are angels.
Yeah, man, the angels.
Okay.
Read it. I don't care. I tell you.
Yeah.
Read it.
I going to check it. Call me tomorrow. Thank you so much. I've heard everything in life now. Welcome to Freedom March Call. You're live.
Hello, good evening. How are y'all?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
Tell Randy Mantra, he have my name, but he talks too much bullshit about.
You ain't saved, man.
That sounds like an elderly man too.
He's saved.
Oh wow.
Next caller.
His name is Rodney.
Yeah.
We don't have any more calls.
Oh, this is powerful.
Anyhow, the lines are still open. You can still call us. The numbers are 323-7775, 698-0775, and 698-0776. Call us if you want to engage. We still got another 10 minutes to go before the show ends. 323-7775, 698-0775, and 698-0776. So it doesn't seem as if... Okay, welcome to Freedom March Call. You're live. Go ahead, caller. You're live. Caller, you there?
I'm on.
Yeah, you're on. Go ahead.
Mr. Monco,
Sir,
as a senator, have you ever passed or debate a bill as a senator?
yes, I have.
Which bill did you pass or debate on?
Oh, I didn't say I pass any, but I have debated. Yes.
Which bill did you debate?
I have to think about it. When I became a senator, they held an emergency meeting to educate us on a proposed bill. I would have to think about it, and I can't give you it right now, but I have. Yes.
Mr. Monca, you have to be very careful. As a talk show host, you have to be very not biased.
I agree with you. I should not be biased. Where have I been biased?
You're right here now representing that Trump is the best choice
Trump.
for the United States.
Trump is the best choice as it relates to the interests of the Bahamas. It has nothing to do with who you like. It's about interests.
Did you realize Trump said he wants to suspend the Constitution of the United States?
No, I am not aware of that. Yeah, I'm not aware of that. Chances are that's another piece of lie and misinformation.
It isn't a lie.
You said it is.
As your position now, as
Yes? Are you there? He's gone.
All right, we lost him.
Okay.
Okay. You have any more calls? Welcome to Freedom March Call. You're live.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
We're doing well. How you doing?
I like it.
Great, great.
Listen, I want to know the name of the man who got the first set of money for building the wall that he stole. Did he go to jail yet for that?
Now, you're talking about which wall? The wall locally?
No, we never promised to build a wall locally.
No, we have built wall locally, you know.
No, I ain't worried about that
Dr.
one. I'm
Minnis,
talking about Trump wall. What he was supposed to build.
Because we built one, just hold on a second, under our party, the F&M. We gave my boy a contract to build a wall near the Oatsfield Primary School, now renamed, I can't remember the name, but renamed after the mother of some of my father's second cousin children.
Yeah, hold on, Mr. Bunker. I trying to save my minute. I on my cell phone.
Okay.
I don't want to hear about no wall here.
Oh, you want the American
you
wall?
just said that Trump is going to build a wall.
Yes, Trump is going to
But
build.
the fellow who they give the first set of money to build the wall, he stole the money.
Really?
And I tried to find out if they lock him up yet for that.
I'm going to have to ask the American embassy because
Well, ask them.
I didn't-
Ask them, and if they haven't, tell them get a hold of that fella and take him to the rope.
is he an
And the
American?
next thing,
Yes.
you are encouraging people to work, to vote for Donald Trump. Of course, I don't care about their election there because we got our own comment.
Okay.
But like I said, Donald Trump, after he was shot on his ear, he said, he lifted his hand to say he's a strong man.
Fight.
And when
Trump.
that was over, everybody said, Donald, save. You tell me God saved him with that shot.
Yeah, God save him.
But after a week, Donald said out of his own mouth to the American people,
Fight.
I got shot, and you all thought I did change it. He said, no, I changed. I think I worse than I was. And if he is worse
No,
than
you
he
are.
was,
No. Let me stop you. You are misinterpreting Brother Trump.
you know who you're talking to?
How you mean? I know you when you was sitting under the tamarind tree and picking the tamarind that didn't belong to you.
All right, here's his mouth.
All right?
In my ear.
I want you to listen to me. I know you when you was under the tamarind tree and the tamarind tree was in your lawn.
Why do you waste 5 minutes?
All right?
Listen, Donald said,
Stop, because your
daughter
children,
got saving.
your
You
children
can't get
and
saved.
my children
I
are
want
listening to this show, and I don't want to run on. But I know you when you was under the tamarind tree. Who tamarind tree it was?
Gordon, I'm saying something to you. You got a hold.
Woman, I'm going to rebuke you.
You have the heart, and you have the fire. Did you get a hold of the Project 25?
If I got the whole of what?
Project 25.
What is Project 25? Trump don't know nothing about Project 25. That is
Don't you believe this man? No.
that is Democratic propaganda.
So.
You listen to me, woman. Project 25 ain't got nothing to do with Trump.
Thank you so much, caller. We appreciate your
I
contribution.
call on women of Black Village to submit. Other than that, stay from under the tamarind tree. Because only one man in the whole of Black Village own tamarind tree.
Let's take these last 2 calls quickly. Welcome to Freedom March, caller. You're live. Go ahead, caller. You there? All right, we lost that call. Let's take the
Good afternoon, spiritual advisor.
Yes, sir. How are you?
Wonderful, sir. Wonderful.
Great.
Mr. Monka, I agree with you. The problem we have today is a lot of people like swallow propaganda.
Yes.
And take it as gospel, and it's not true.
Fight.
Like that Project 2025 thing,
yes.
That is not true.
It's not true.
Donald Trump and J.D. Vance have said multiple times, we have no connection to it, we have nothing to do with it, and it's not my business or care.
Fight.
And the only reason why Donald Trump even survived his first assassination attempt was because of God.
Because of God.
And Trump has admitted that on multiple occasions.
Yes.
I wish people would stop
spreading lies.
Yes, sir. Meanwhile, I like the fact that everyone is ignoring the fact that Kamala Harris has done basically nothing for the past 4 years.
Wow.
She let in millions of migrants into their country.
That's true.
Only now, recently, because now she's trying to be president, she suddenly closes the border a little bit.
My brother.
Come on, man, y'all can't see she's trembling.
Brother.
Knows she's not likable.
I am proud of you. I declare that you are a saved man.
Yes, I am. I believe in Jesus Christ.
Amen. Lord, I thank you for this man who has stood up.
All right, take care.
Who has stood up and is rebuking these sinful women who is supporting the sinful position. It's powerful.
All right, we're at the end of the show. That's it. Until tomorrow.
Now,
Lord,
folks,
if it's the Lord's will,
let us continue to fast and pray. Let us pray for the United States and particularly our sister state, the state of Florida. We need Florida to survive because everybody knows that traditionally you're not a Bahamian unless you make at least one pilgrimage to Miami. That's where we go to shop, to buy clothes, to buy toys, and to spend the tourism money that we make here in the Bahamas. So Florida must survive. We must pray for Florida. Okay? It's very, very important. And I need Florida to survive because, you know, Florida is a red state. It's powerful. God save the United States of America. God save the state of Florida. Do, Lord, cover them, protect them. Lord, protect the northern part of the Bahamas. Do, Lord, it is our prayer that the Bahamas and the United States will hold hand in hand, and we shall ride out the storm together. Forward march. It's powerful today.